Have you ever had that gut feeling that something just isn't working anymore, particularly at work? That quiet voice saying, you're not okay here, but at the same time, you are feeling too tired to move? Well, there have been several times in my career when I thought about making a change. And honestly, most of the time, I talked myself out of it. Why did I talk myself out of it? Well, because it felt easier to stay or to be more responsible, or like maybe I just needed to work harder and fix something or prove something to myself for someone else. And honestly, right now, I am in a really good place. I am grateful. But when I look back, I definitely see moments I wish I had moved sooner. Because if I had, well, I might have prevented burnout or I might have gotten myself out of it sooner. With that in mind, I want to talk about what held me back, what helped me finally move forward, and how you can know when it is time to consider whether you need a change too. Hi there, I'm Dr. Santina or Tina Wheat. I am an academic family physician and a career and life coach who supports healthcare workers conquer their chaos and get to calm. Let's get started with what held me back. Now, I recently just passed the anniversary of leaving a job that I spent a huge part of my professional life in. And it brought up a lot for me. It brought up gratitude, grief, and reflection. So let's start with the honest part. Here is what kept me stuck. First was fear of the unknown. I love learning and I can handle change, but like most people, I also really crave stability. There were things about the job and the company that felt familiar, predictable, and even comforting. Even when I didn't find myself feeling fulfilled, I knew what to expect. And giving that up, well, that just felt huge. And when you are already tired or overwhelmed, even a small change can feel massive. The idea of going through that feels even more exhausting. So I stayed. But the things that made me comfortable were also the things that were contributing to my exhaustion. The second thing is honestly life logistics. There were very real concerns that were happening in our family. We were growing our family. Then my mom was ill. My in laws were ill or needed help. And I kept thinking to myself, if I change jobs now, what if I lose my benefits? What if something happens and I don't have support? Now, some of that was just being overly pessimistic and not talking through with my partner how we could make it work. Sometimes the fear isn't about the ambition or the readiness. It is about protecting your people. Then there was also timing with my partner's career. My husband's work has often been tied to political cycles, and so that can mean instability in itself. So I told myself at least one of us should have a solid, consistent role. To be totally fair and honest, that was never what he said to me. He fully supported me. I still carried this internal pressure to be the one who kept things steady. That was something internal to me. And then there was a lack of energy and potentially a lack of clarity. I didn't really have the energy to do the job search. I didn't have the clarity to know how I could change. And honestly, I didn't have the confidence that I would find something that would make me happier. Job hunting takes effort. It takes resumes or CVs, cover letters, interviews, uncertainty, and vulnerability. And when I did put myself out there for a role I really wanted and didn't get at the very beginning of my career, it really stung. And that experience made me doubt whether I could do something else or not. All of these things together explain why I stayed, even when it didn't feel like I was aligned anymore. But then there came a time when I realized that I finally needed a change, and I was able to accept that. This eventually happened when the discomfort of staying began to outweigh the fear of leaving. The work that used to light me up inside really just started to feel disconnected. My role changed, the structure changed, and suddenly the things that made me feel useful and energized weren't part of my job anymore. Even more importantly for me, I wasn't growing anymore. I hit a ceiling, and I wasn't in a situation where I felt I could continue to learn or stretch or develop. And I realized that this was really important for me. I still wanted that. I wasn't done, and I'm not done evolving. That is when I knew I had to stop compromising my purpose in the name of predictability. So you might be wondering, what helped me finally move forward? Well, something changed inside of me. Eventually, I finally came to realize I had spent years trying to convince myself that what I had was good enough, that fulfillment elsewhere just wasn't going to be possible. The truth is, I never really let myself imagine anything else. I had confined myself to a specific box. And the shift came when I stopped asking myself, how do I move forward and make this work? And instead, I started asking myself, what do I actually need to thrive? I went back to something I use all of the time in my coaching work, and that was purpose and priorities. I walked myself through the same process that I guide others through. I asked myself, what is my mission right now? What are my top priorities in this season? And is the current role honoring these things? And I forced myself to really get true to the answers and not just give myself surface responses. I dug down deep. And here is what helped me the most. I stopped trying to replicate a position like what I already had. I let myself imagine what I wanted. I let myself imagine what I needed. And for the first time, I gave myself permission to think outside of the box. I gave myself permission to say that I didn't need to do everything that I loved, but I needed to do the things that would allow me to thrive. And so I was able to get clear. I did truly create a personal mission statement. It's something simple but honest, and currently it's hanging right up there over my desk. And then I asked myself, what matters most right now? Is it the flexibility? Is it not having a commute? Is it the compensation? Is it the scope? Do I want to work with people who make me feel seen and heard? Can I show up fully for my friends and my family the way that I want to? Do I have the ability to grow? And am I living my values every day at work? I reminded myself, I don't owe anyone except for myself an explanation for my answers. And I do owe myself the honesty. And so I made a choice that a lot of people didn't expect. I took a job that I am so happy in right now, and others questioned, and it worked for me. And I encourage you to consider this season, whether you are graduating, entering a new academic year, or just feeling that itch for something different. It is a great time to pause and reflect. And with those reflections, let me ask you this. What is your purpose? What are your priorities? And are your decisions aligned with those truths? If you are unsure where to start, I created a free workbook that walks you through those questions with a little bit more detail. You can download it using the link that is in the description. And if you are looking for deeper support, someone to help you find that clarity, I do this work with my clients in one-on-one coaching. You don't have to be all alone in navigating this transition. You also don't have to wait until you are feeling burnt out or feeling too broken to make a change. You can choose to have clarity. You can choose courage. You can choose calm, and you can choose yourself. Thank you for watching. And if this resonated with you, I hope that you'll like it and subscribe and share it with someone else who needs to see it. And I will see you in the next one.